Hello and welcome. We are live for Misty Mountain Games. It is myself, TeamJbro, and
Brian Kowal.
we got a amazing tournament lined up for you today. This is Premodern, arguably the best constructed format of all time, basically the cube of constructed, and we are getting ready. Big shout out to Mike Cube, the Cloud Goat Ranger himself, for making all this happen, and thanks to Misty Mountain Games for hosting. And we are ready to roll.
Yeah, we got for our round one feature match, we have a rematch. We didn't set this up. This was the finals of our last Premodern tournament, and randomly paired is Will Hirst, our champion from last time, going against Ricky Thorson.
And we don't know Ricky's deck yet, but we do know Will has a spicy Psychatog brew that you've never seen before.
Yeah, it's a different take on Psychatog, I think.
How would you?
I've been talking to him a while about the deck, and it's cool. I like this deck.
Tidetog. What is the card?
Parallax Tide.
And the card I'm most excited about is one that you would never guess. Upheaval. He's running Upheaval in the Psychatog deck, which is pretty spicy. We might see the rare play of tiding your own lands in order to gain the advantage off of the.
Yeah, that's a line in this deck. Yeah, you can just like tide your own lands Upheaval, and then you just get them all back.
Yeah. Well, and this is a far cry from Will's last deck, which of course was split in the red deck, right? Will was running the red deck.
He ran mono red last time and took it down with burn spells and creatures, just like
the versatility,
the classic.
You love to see it. You love someone. I love a player that can rock it all. And Ricky, of course, is running a mystery deck. He has opted to not let us know what he's playing right now, so we're just gonna be guessing.
Yeah. He played Stasis last time.
True.
In the final.
And if you look at his shirt, he is kind of rocking a Stasis. Yeah. He's got the blue. It's looking pretty.
I think he also played Stasis in a recent event in Milwaukee as well. I was talking to a friend of his.
Okay. Well, technically, theoretically, one Psychatog hits all you need. You don't need it on tap.
Exactly.
So, that you might be seeing that.
Also, it's hard to pay for Stasis when all your islands are in your hand.
That's right. Well, actually, there's an interesting other play to this, right? Which is, for the Stasis deck to work, there's a particular land that's quite important that the disruption of a tide might be pretty relevant with, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
It leans very, very heavy on Forsaken City.
And with Parallax Tide, you got some main deck interaction with that, which is pretty dope. So we might see that. Okay, so we got some commentators. Hey, what's up, everyone? Arcane Denial is commonly in Stasis. I also saw Days. Interesting. What is Standstill on the sideboard for? Control Mirror?
We have a Beta Island turn one.
Oh, advantage Ricky. Hachimachi. Look at those islands.
Oh, but Will's got an island too. He's at 19.
Not only is he at 19, he's also got a decidedly not Beta Island. So Ricky's in pretty commanding control at this point.
I think Ricky just didn't play a land turn two.
You're right. Oi, Gavalt. No, that is.
Oh, Ricky
that is
discards
tough.
a thwart.
That's not where you want your thwart.
Do you think he might have kept a hand that was like really like pretty powerful against mono red, and is getting punished for it, stuck on one land against a control deck?
That could be what's going on. But what Stasis hand would you want with one island?
You have to be in your head. It has to be that you're playing just the same matchup you had played in the last event, where both players were very successful, right?
Right, and also where Red did beat up on Stasis quite a bit in previous rounds, including against the same matchup. So maybe you just can't handle the card disadvantage theoretically. But I don't really know what one land hand you'd want to keep with Stasis. I guess you're on the draw, so.
Sure either.
Okay,
right. He's got a second.
Not only a second, a beta. All right, we got two beta islands.
He has a Force Spike in the hand too.
Okay.
Will kind of wisely not playing that Powder Keg in his hand because I don't think it does anything in this matchup. It might. It kills Black Vise, right?
Yeah.
So maybe he does want it in play. I think he's just going in the control route and sitting back.
Well, and the more lands you tap, the worse, you know, the worse shape you're in with Stasis. Okay, got another island, another beta. Okay, 3 beta islands. Now we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. And I'm going to admit again that Stasis is a giant blind spot to my pre-modern knowledge. I never have played this deck, and rarely end up playing it because I play for fun with people a lot. People just kind of don't bring it in when you're just playing jamming games, you know. So I'm not even sure, is Stasis a control killer in this format or not? I
think so, right?
Mike's giving me the nod, yes.
Yeah. So, we've got a new land. Can we bring that land up? I can't remember the name, but I know it deals with how many cards in your library.
That is Cephalid Coliseum.
Cephalid Coliseum, thank you.
If he has 7 cards in his graveyard, aka Threshold, he can draw 3 and discard 3.
Okay.
And
So
he's got 3.
The Coliseum seems pretty great
in
this matchup and for this deck. Okay, we got Black Vise in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're ready to rock.
So he's got 2 blue in his pool.
Okay, we're ready to roll. Sounds good. Thank you, thank you. Chad, how you enjoying this matchup so far? We got Stasis on the table, Will and Enable.
There's a Black Vise.
Or
Will
Black
is...
Oh, got some interaction.
Will is going to counter...
Okay, okay. And there's still 1 blue floating, right? So we got the ability to counter and keep Force Spike up, although it's getting less relevant for each land played. Okay, he is going to counter.
He doesn't have a mana floating. Oh, wait, okay, he doesn't counterspell.
Yep, counter the counter. And do we want to keep fighting over this? Looks like... No. Oh, yes.
I wouldn't fight over this if I were Will. Will's going to take a point of damage and roll out another counterspell.
Okay. Very aggressive over this Black Vise. I guess
I don't know if I'd be way more worried about the Stasis than the Black Vise, but I guess he knows it. He knows Ricky can't cast Stasis now because he's played a land already.
Right. And also, I mean, Black Vise does take quite... I guess if you're thinking there's not that many win conditions, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thanks, Zance Hammer, for the MTG for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Bless up, homie. Let's see. It's getting kind of heavy, Levy. We got...
Ricky had to go back to his discard stuff because he had too many cards in his hand. He got rid of the Force Spike.
We got rid of the Force Spike with 1 mana up.
Will's been playing around it the whole game, though. You know,
but Will now has Upheaval mana. Get Upheaval this turn. No Force Spike. Okay, so he finally lands the Powder Keg. Now the coast is clear and the Upheaval won't appear. Okay. Got another beta island off the top, so it's 1 more in hand, so things are...
Will is slow and steady.
Well, also, I mean, the other thing here is Ricky can kind of craft his hand pretty well. Like, it's not as bad for him as it seems because there's no pressure being applied. There's no Psychatog. There's nothing going on. Ooh.
Well, we're gonna see a Duress.
Okay, that is fantastic.
Will might get a peek at the old hand.
Better counter that. If you got a counter.
Yeah, I think like it's not even so much like losing the card right now. It's you just don't want to show that
100%.
Your hand.
You do not want. Yeah, the information is the destination. Absolutely. Okay, so Arcane Denial, just gonna keep drawing. So he draws 1, Will draws 2, and draw for turn. Which is actually, yeah, again, I mean, Ricky's getting to craft this kind of how he wants it, right? Like, he's in pretty good shape. Just keep playing those lands.
I think they're both kind of off to the races, just rolling out mana. Will has a huge mana advantage on him right now. There's our Stasis, the star of the show.
All right, ready to go.
No untap steps if this comes down.
What do you make of playing the land before playing the Stasis there? Playing around Mana Leak, I suppose. Okay, so we're going to fight over this.
And Chain of Vapor at the end of the turn.
Ah. Okay, so Chain of Vapor, which allows him to untap a second land here as opposed to just 1, and also puts it back in the hand for another opportunity to counter it some later point. Let's see.
Now he's not gonna play anything out, right? Like now he's never taps lands.
Right.
He has to.
Yeah, Will's on team never tap until Psychatog comes. Another impulse. Again, crafting this hand exactly how he wants it.
Looked like he took an island like immediately there.
This is a deck that wants a lot of lands. And it's even... And I think there is some aspect. Having all the beta lands makes it even more attractive to pick those over any other card. I think there's some angle there. Okay, we're back at the Stasis.
How does Ricky win without a Black Vise in play? Is there a alternate win condition besides the Vice? I think Will is foiling it.
Okay.
Discarding
foil
2
for the ultimate
islands.
cost. I like it. I like it. Okay. We're going to counter the counter with 2 untapped land. That resolves.
Okay. Will's like, all right, you got 2 lands left.
Ooh, and he's interestingly doing it at the end of turn. So he's searching for the chain of vapors again, I suppose.
The Stasis might still be on the stack. We're not sure.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Excuse me. Good point. Okay.
Maybe he's going for a circle of logic or something.
So 2 cards left to, what's that, 5? What are we doing? Okay.
He's gonna hard cast a foil.
Okay. There we go. That is a great line.
Ricky is going to Arcane Denial.
Great. With no untapped lands.
But he does have Forbidden City.
Oh, he does have
Forsaken City.
Forsaken City.
Forsaken
Yeah.
City. Forsaken City.
And he's drawing more cards off the Arcanes Denial, which might be some more islands. Okay. Can we bring Forsaken City up? Thank you.
The Forsaken City taps for any color mana. Does not untap. You're untap that.
Alright, that's a Psychatog. Let's go. Alright. It's time. Suki, he's eating the cookie.
That's kind of sweet, right? Like he
It might be the one.
He basically tapped Ricky out so that he could potentially cast Psychatog into no untapped mana.
And Psychatog could just win the game on its own.
Yeah, I
It
think we're
can do
seeing,
20.
I think we might be seeing a foil here.
Oh.
So many foils happening.
Well,
Will also has a Gush, so if he hits a foil here, he can make it happen. But he did not. He missed it. He had already used 2. I think he only has 3 in his deck.
okay.
All right, so
Discard
Ricky
to untap.
is
Or
untapping Forsaken City,
moved on tap. Okay.
paying for Stasis, playing a land. Go.
Okay, we
Will
do not untap.
Pump fakes. This is untap step.
And
Plays
keeping
down. Go.
that Powder Keg at 1. And I believe Ricky's drawn more cards
Ricky pays for Stasis.
this game.
Plays down. Go.
There's 1 Black Vise gone. There's kind of 1 more Black Vise gone on the table, represented by the Powder Keg. There's 2
I
Black
think
Vise.
Will just saw a Chain of Vapor. I'm not sure. He has a Mana Leak up.
Let's see.
Will's gonna
Okay.
pay again.
Paying again.
Ricky pays again.
And the hard
Draws.
way. Mm-hmm.
Plays another. Oh no, he's gushing.
Okay. Now, Will does have the opportunity to counter this, but is it worth it? He
I'm not so
thinks
sure
it
it is.
is. I'm not sure either. Ooh. Dave's putting more lands in the hand, which is basically free resources. Ooh, there's an
Right.
old school Portent. You love to see it. She will not be casting,
He's
of
got
course.
a full hand. Will is tapped out.
Full grip, take a sip. Yeah,
Just
Dave's
the
in.
way Stasis wants it.
Yep. Another beautiful beta island hitting the table, willing and able. So one other big difference here is we have the consistency of the beta islands versus the inconsistency of Will's islands. Do you think that matters?
I think there's a mental weight you give your opponent by playing all those different artworks. You know, they have to keep track of all of them.
Interesting. Interesting. So you're using some of the bandwidth. Oh, oh my! Ricky takes a hard left.
What do you do?
You see that island? That is not a beta island.
Oh my God, you're right.
Is that APAC? No, that's a what? Oh, that's just a. It's not even revised. It's 4th edition. Is that a 4th edition?
Looks 4th to me.
Oh my!
That is not revised.
Wow.
You can tell by the print.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Can we get a spotter?
Yeah. Ricky's just on a completely different level at this point. Do you think it's half?
Will can gush as well. He's gonna return 2 islands to his hand.
Wow.
I kind of think this Tog deck is reasonably set up for Stasis.
Yeah, I mean, Tog.
He's got free counter spells. He's got gushes.
Yep.
He's got Chain of Vapor.
Yep. And even main deck ways to deal with vices. So we have a question chat. How does the Stasis deck win? Well, there's 2 ways. One, you can upset your opponent so much emotionally that they quit before the game is over. And 2,
okay, we have a Duress. I want to talk about this hand quick.
Okay.
Not interrupt you. We have Ricky has a Chain of Vapor. He has a Portent. He has an Impulse, a Stasis, another Chain of Vapor, and an Elvish Spirit Guide and an island. Yet another white border island.
Nice. Okay. So he takes the Chain of...
Also looks 4th edition.
Yes. And the Chain of Vapor is very important, which obviously you can bounce your Stasis, untap, and then get a whole free ride again.
I think Will's got to be feeling pretty good because his opponent is out of betas. All his betas.
They're all in
play. He's stuck. He's playing his 2nd string islands now.
That's right. Although...
Back to the wall.
That's right. Yeah, so basically the other way that this deck wins is through Black Vise, and your opponents can't play anything because their mana is all being used by the Stasis, and they just die eventually to take in damage from Black Vise. So those are the 2 ways this deck wins. The interesting thing about the Stasis deck is the use of time. Much like Turbo Fog in its day, there is a way to maximize clock on the first game, and that can be relevant if you can get there. What do we make about the Elvish Spirit Guide in this Stasis deck? Turn 1 Stasis. That's a thing.
It's good against days.
Yeah, good against days. Yep.
Ricky goes for a Portent, and Will replies immediately with a Chain of Vapor on Ricky's Stasis.
Okay, so...
He's going to go for a big untap here. Reset everything. I'm sure he's thinking about getting that Parallax Tide into play.
Yes. Ooh.
All right. So Portent's happening.
Look at the top 3 cards.
Round of Vice. Looks like...
Oh, Spirit Guide for Root Maze. Interesting. Okay. He keeps them all on top, including the Black Vise. The Stasis...
I mean, it's all or nothing, this board.
Yeah. Well, you can shuffle. You can shuffle, but...
Think Bull's going to go for an Upheaval here?
I think that would make me incredibly happy, but I think it's more likely to get in the wave. Okay, Accumulated Knowledge. Now, this is a card we should talk about. This is a really special card in the Psychatog deck. It basically 2 mana, draw a card for, and then an additional 1 for each one in your graveyard. So for 2 mana, he's drawing 2 cards right here. Best divination of all time, instant speed, of course. And
he's going to let it happen. Even though I think he does have a Daze in his hand.
Oh, interesting.
Ricky draws his card for Portent, and Will's got a giant grip, a ton of lands in play, a tapped out Stasis opponent.
Let's see
what's going to happen. This is his.
And not only that,
this is his big moment here.
He's also got information, right?
Yeah, he gets to decide what happens here, and what he's able to do is going to matter a lot.
We see it's still got those cards, so we know what doesn't he know? He doesn't know about. He knows about the days, right? He saw the days.
He did not see the
days.
He
didn't see days. Okay.
Ricky drew. I think Ricky drew the days.
All that for a powder keg.
He
Wow.
just Powder Keg, go.
Wow. With the read on his opponent with the Black Vise. Okay. Knowing that there are not many win conditions for Ricky.
Oh yeah, Ricky chained back the
The other one, yep.
Powder Keg goes in.
Yep. Okay, now we might be fighting over this. We have another counterspell. Okay. Beautiful. Great art on that counterspell. And
In this kind of matchup, do you think you should be fighting over the Stasis, or do you think you should be fighting over the things they're trying to do around the Stasis?
I think that it's all got to be fighting over Black Vise, right?
Yeah, I think
I would only
if
go
you're a
after
control deck, it's all about
either Black Vise or landing
their win
one
condition.
Psychatog. Yeah. Although with Chain of Vapors, Psychatog gets worse, or Boomerang. But yeah, I like just keeping up the fight over. But Will Hirst is the champion, so we'll trust his judgment. Factor Fiction, end of turn. One of the most interesting cards of all time. Flip over 5 cards, and your opponent
those are
2 stacks.
and those are 5 cards.
Well,
Literal non-land 5 non-land Magic cards,
yeah,
which is kind of the dream.
it's getting heavy, Ralph Levy.
You got a Mana Leak, a Foil, a Gush, an Upheaval, and a Parallax Tide.
Oh my!
And I'd be sweating right now.
How do you
Ricky
separate
Thorson's
these?
shoes.
What's the correct? Is it got? Let's see. It's got to be. Would you do the two? Yeah. Yep. 2/3 exactly. I was gonna say the 2 powerful cards versus 3 disruption. And take the power. It's that hour. Let's go. Hachimachi. Now, technically speaking, that's what we call
card draw? Always card draw. That was like 5 cards. That was like 5 cards versus 2.
Yeah. Well, and you get the islands back. Technically speaking, that's a bang 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 in the chicken wing.
Is that what that? Is that the technical description for that?
Yep, it's old Magic term, but it doesn't come up very often. When these pre-moderns, you'll see it. That's a bang 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 chicken wing. And now we might see some fireworks. How much mana is untapped?
All
We're
right.
separated into piles
Will
of
is going
5.
to Duress again.
Ooh, the coast. The coast is clear. Will's got so much card draw between Factor Fiction and Ancestral Vision, or what's it called? Humana draw 10 cards.
I think Will has enough mana to Parallax Tide Upheaval here.
Yep, I believe that's correct. And especially after we see what's in the grip. Yeah, the real power of Upheaval, I mean, of Duress, the information is the destination. Being able to see all those cards is just fantastic.
He has 10 mana up.
And the only interactions are Chain of Vapors, 2 of them though. Arcane Denial and the days that should be able to play around. Although the Impulse certainly represents another potential counterspell.
Yeah.
Given that we've seen so few so far.
You think he takes the Stasis here, or just the Arcane Denial? He's going with Arcane Denial.
Well, we know what that means. It's about to pop off. We are about to go live. All right. What do we have? Faceless Land per turn. That's 4. What enchantment can he play with those 4 mana?
So he's going to tap his 4. He's got a Parallax Tide.
Okay, Parallax Tide again. Baiting 5. Remove a counter from Parallax Tide. Remove target land from the game, and when it leaves play, all lands come back untapped. So there's a lot of tricky things you can do with the Parallax Tide. In response to, the trigger, you can remove it from you can disenchant or something. Okay,
Ricky is gotta see what the deck can get him here.
Gotta find something. We need a hard counter here. Is there an Arcane Denial on that? I think we saw it.
Even if this is rough for him, I think.
Right, it is rough because he's got so much. His opponent has so much mana.
Even if he stops the Tide, we'll probably still Upheavals, right? Like,
well, let's see. Does he have 7 mana there? Oh, he does have 7 mana. Well, does he? I don't know. Does he Upheaval here? It's actually an interesting question. I think he does not. I'm gonna say he doesn't.
All right. I think he's gonna.
Wait. Finger up. The old one finger Willie. That's what we call him.
He is one finger.
Ooh.
He's gonna battle leak it. I like it.
Interesting. Tell me more. Now
Now he has a Tide in play, and there's a lot of things this can do against Stasis, right?
Yep, can disrupt the special land. It can.
He can remove his Forbidden City. He just trash all his untapped lands, you know.
Yep, just untap 5 lands right here. If a Stasis lands, he can go clean off the scene. Although
He has a second Tide in hand.
wait a second. He knows Ricky has 2 Chain of Vapors, right? Or at least 1, right?
Yeah.
So how does Chain of Vapor interact with that?
With Tide? Not well for Ricky.
Yep.
I think.
Let's see what we got.
Will really needs Psychatog.
Well, he's running 4 in that list, right?
Mhm.
So we've still got a couple left. Do you land the Stasis here? That's the tough part.
Does it help?
Yeah, exactly. With Tide, okay, so we're down to 4 counters. Might just wait the Tide out, I guess, but he's not gonna have enough time because his opponent has the amazing combo of Upheaval. Oh, nope, never mind. We are waiting. We are playing the patience game. Although we missed a tick on the Tide. Should be at 3, not 4. There we go. Thank you, Will. Got there.
You gotta count the decks at this point, right?
Yep. Well, Will's gone through quite a few cards,
Yeah.
but he still has the Psychatogs left.
They both have. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you who's ahead. I think Will's a little bit ahead going through his deck.
Is
I think he's drawn a
Psychotog?
little bit more than.
I believe so. Yeah, and he certainly will with the ancestral. What's the word again? The 2 mana draws. Terrible card.
It's accumulated knowledge.
Accumulated knowledges, and accumulated knowledge. Fact or fiction is a 5 hitter quitter each time. So yeah, but again, 1 hit a Psychotog. 1 Psychotog can win this. So where are we at? We are still thinking. How many cards in your hand? Okay. So who do you have winning this right now?
Will's ahead.
I think Will's ahead too.
Second Parallax Tide.
Second Parallax Tide.
With a Chain of Vapor, you can bounce both of them, right?
True, and yeah, he could bounce both of them, although he may not want to. And with Upheaval in hand, we know what that means.
Well, he could remove 8 of his opponent's lands and then return them both to his hand, and then play them again, and then do the Upheaval.
Yep.
You know, like I think he burned both of his Chain of Vapors, though.
I think he's got 1 left.
I don't think he has more than 2 in his deck.
I think he has 1 left in his hand, right? I saw 1 more. Not sure though. You might be right. Let's see.
Do you go for it, chat?
Chat says Upheaval is a gamble here because Will needs to float mana. If Will loses the counter war, Ricky slams Stasis and sends Will to the Shadow Realm.
He doesn't have to float mana though because he has 2 Parallax Tides in his hand.
Exactly. And also, technically speaking, those Parallax Tides can go on the offensive.
Right.
Like,
He could just remove.
we can also make sure that opponent doesn't have land to counter. Although there's
right,
foils.
but then he gets all his lands back if you do cast the Upheaval. So I think the only way to go is to remove all of his own lands. But he's not.
But he couldn't also remove the lands.
He must have a Chain of Vapor, right? If he's doing this.
Or a Psychotog. Okay, so Ricky's tapping in
he's
response.
leaving with the city.
Interesting. Okay. This might be a Psychotog. I would assume. We're just going for it.
Yep.
I'm
risking it for.
Gotta risk it for the brisket sometimes, baby.
briskets.
Sometimes you need that brisket. Even the veggie brisket in this case. Okay. So we go to attack step.
Did Ricky not tap the 5 lands?
I think he did. This is
I think they're all on the stack because that's the way Will has to do it in order for Ricky not to get his lands back.
Right. Except that he put them all under one and then put them all under the other. But I guess that just designates. It doesn't.
I'm not sure why priority's being passed though, because he's
Interesting. Wait, what?
he conceded.
What? Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wait,
whoa!
what happened?
We need to reverse engineer this. I don't know who won. I don't know how.
I don't know.
But that didn't make any sense.
It's possible Will was like, oh wait, I messed that up. I don't have a chain of vapor. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what happened there.
We don't know who. We're gonna check on who won there. Because
you know what might have happened? He might have said, hey, I have a Psychatog and an Upheaval here. I'm going to Upheaval and play a Psychatog now. Like,
and just, but wouldn't he show him if he did that? Wouldn't you reveal the cards? If you're the opponent, you'd ask to see it, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Will won that one. Okay.
Sounds like conceded. Okay.
Okay. Well, that was interesting. I'm not sure why he conceded there, but let's go to the sideboard. We did not see. So what? Okay, let's just think this out. We're missing something. There's something discussed. Why would he?
He must have had a chain, right? He must have said, "Hey, I'm going to chain both these, and you're not going to have any lands anymore." That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, even if that is the case, he still has the Citadel, and he can still draw out, and Will still has very few cards left. Like,
yeah, but he had a Tog in his hand. Too.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, so maybe
there's two left in his deck at the very least. Like, I don't know. I think Will, if Will was like one way Armageddoning his opponent, like I think he was gonna
win. I'm very confused. I don't necessarily. Oh, MTG Lotus Veil has a good question. Why don't you take this one, BK?
We think that he did have a Chain of Vapor in his hand, and that's what we're speculating, that he does have he did have a Chain of Vapor,
and he did it
because if you remove all of the lands and then in response Chain of Vapor your Parallax Tide, which he can return both of them with the same Chain of Vapor,
right? Because that's how Chain of Vapor works.
So then his opponent would get none of his lands back, be stuck with just a Forsaken City in play.
Right.
And Will would have,
all his lands.
Although, a literal million lands in play.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, that's still not winning. And even if he had the Psychatog in hand, you still show it, right? If you're the opponent, you've got to see it, because maybe he's only running 2 Psychatogs, or maybe they're in the bottom of his deck or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Like there might have been some hand showing, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, maybe we missed the hand showing, or maybe, I don't know. Did Fact or Fiction?
Will was talking about this. He's played this deck a lot. He said like sometimes you like remove all your opponent's lands with Parallax Tide, and your opponent just scoops anyway because they're gonna wait for the Chain of Vapor. He's like because he's been playing an MTGO. He's like sometimes they just concede.
That is the alternate win
because they just assume you would be doing it.
That's the other way this deck wins, and it wins hard that way, as we just saw.
Have you ever done that in Cube? Like tap all
100%.
your lands like you have a fireball, and
100%.
then see if they just like concede to you?
No, but I've 100% removed all my opponent's lands multiple times and gotten the concession from it.
Of course, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hundreds of times?
Hundreds of times? Yeah, statistically speaking. Yeah. Well, that was quite a first round. A lot of ups and downs. We did not expect it to go that way. Hey, Raf K Run, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. Thank you. Tier 1 sub for 6 months in advance. Good looking.
That was a really cool game. I liked it.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think both players were kind of feeling each other out. There were, I
think Ricky just got like shocked when the island came down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was not expecting Mountain for the Fountain. Although,
now he knows what's up though.
Yeah, now he's got
keep 3, draw.
Keeping him, power move, Beta Island, but not leading off with the Beta Island. Now, how do you perceive that? If you've got 2, what do you lead with?
Definitely a mana screwed opponent.
Okay.
It's probably his only island in his hand.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, but he has a beta. He got
the beta.
He was bluffing.
You got the beta. Okay, now we have
a Cursed Totem.
Cursed Totem. which is pretty good win condition.
Well,
Relatively
no,
speaking.
that's for his Tog.
Right, it doesn't allow...
Curse Totem, all
prevents
creatures lose activated abilities.
Yeah, so that's
So,
pretty...
Tog is a mere 1/2. It would take 20 turns to go with opponent.
Well, except that Will does have a bounce spells in his deck. We know that. So there's that. Okay, we're gonna Impulse. We've got a Gush, I think that was. Okay.
I just had this weird thought: what if Will brought in Waterspout Djinn? But then I remembered back when they printed that card, it had to be an untapped island, probably specifically because they were afraid of
Oh
it going,
yeah,
doing
it's too
damage with
powerful.
Stasis.
Yeah, 100%. That was Visions, right? Waterspout Djinn.
Yeah.
Let's bring that up. Do we think there's a Waterspout Djinn coming in? And here we go. Waterspout Djinn, 4 mana, 4/4 flying.
Oh, that's a second AK from Will.
Oof. So those AKs, the accumulated knowledges, I think that's really the tail of the tape here. It's so much card advantage. It's so good. It's so cheap. And especially for a matchup like this where you're just going back. Although it does discard, it's not pure card advantage.
All right, chat, do you recognize what card Will Hirst just discarded? And I want to know if you... This is a trivia question. It's a new artwork for a classic Premodern card.
Is it Wonder? No.
It is Wonder.
Oh, it is Wonder. Oh, I was wrong.
It's a Wonder.
Oh my. Well, I wonder.
All creatures
Now have
you control gain flying if you have an island in play.
Hachi-machi. Although the other
If it's in your graveyard.
Well, the other aspect of Wonder, it is a 2/2. So compared to the 1/2 Psychatog, it's 10 turns.
We got a kegger.
Oh my. Okay. That's another way to deal with it.
Yeah, that'll kill a Curse Totem. He needs no rod now.
That's right.
I want to do that sometime. Like my entire sideboard is hate artifacts that just turn everything off.
Okay, so we've got
All right. Here's a
Stasis
Stasis
coming
from
down.
Ricky. 3 cities in play.
the response. Oh my.
Annul.
Okay, that stops a Stasis.
Annul.
1 mana Counterspell.
Annul's just a huge addition when you're playing against this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Edgelord.
So mana efficient. And also, again, Will's running so many counterspells and so much card advantage.
Right. I mean, he is Psychatog.
Yep. And
Right, an Arcane Denial.
what do you make of the Wonder here? What's your read on that?
I would not have left that card in. I don't know that.
But does he counterspell the Arcane here, or does he counterspell the Stasis? Or the Annul, I suppose. Goes for Stasis,
I would
right?
counterspell the Stasis because I would want to draw 2 cards.
You want your 2 cards are
But
worth
maybe you
way
don't-
more than their 1.
Maybe you don't want your opponent to draw a card.
Oh, he's going for the... he's going for... Oh,
Right.
okay, that works.
That will get thwarted.
Which puts 3 more islands in his hand and 3 more cards, which can also untap the lands.
Ooh, this is not good for...
Well, this is going to be a tough game for Will to win, especially if... Actually, though,
He still had a mana.
oh,
His I thought it was tapped out. He still had a
I did
Cephalid
not see
Coliseum.
that. Yep.
But Will,
So down to
Ricky
19.
has a counterspell too.
Oh,
So now
my.
Will is gonna go to the Gush. These counter wars are amazing.
This is
Just like-
great. This is exactly how it should
Like
be.
half the stack is resolved. We resolved 4 spells off the stack, and now we're
That is amazing. Will's at 19 life now, which is
he just
not super relevant, but not irrelevant. Okay, Powder Keg goes up to 1, please. Land, and the 1 wasteland he has, not as relevant when there are 3, count them 3, on the table. Storm count getting high, that's right. Oh, Tormod's Crypt! He's got the Crypt, and he's got the, stop your Psychatog from activating abilities.
Did you see the card that it's in Will's hand? Oh, not anymore.
Oh,
Haunting Echoes.
okay, let's talk about Haunting Echoes. This is quite a spicy meatball.
This is a classic.
Yeah.
Black 3.
Odyssey.
Sorcery from Odyssey. Let's tell the viewers what this one does.
Remove all cards in target player's graveyard other than basic land cards from the game. Search that player's library for all cards with the same name removed this way, and remove them from the game. Now, I don't know why you'd ever get rid of that, but it wasn't worth it. Whatever it wasn't worth it. That is pretty powerful against this format. Although, the Crypt is a nice answer to it.
What's that? What's that new card that the kids played out? It costs a Phyrexian mana and does that to one card of their graveyard.
Yeah, if you think that's good.
Wiffle ball.
Yeah.
This is the big leagues. This will get them.
That's hilarious. Haunting Echoes is good because you can discard to foil. True. Okay, we're gonna Gush. Also, we should ask, how much time is left in the round? That is relevant. We are going to find that out for you, but that's, again, another piece. 11 and a half minutes left, so Stasis has got to get it done in the sun because it's very possible this might be a 1-0 show.
Yeah. That's how it goes with the control sometimes.
You
win game 1, and then it's on... then you board out all your win conditions.
So again, what do you make of the Wonder? I gotta ask. What's your read on that?
I think you forgot to board it out. I usually like to assume that there's a plan in place by our player, even when however unlikely that there's, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
Okay, so the Stasis goes away. Probably means
he
another
changed Stasis and Will's Powder Keg.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Ricky is way in the driver's seat in this game, I think.
I think he's in good shape, but I actually think Will is is not too far away from gaining control. Because he's shaping his hand, he's drawing a bunch of cards. That
a perfect mana leak, 2 untapped lands. Oh, and it resolves.
2 beta islands.
Ricky had a full hand, and I can't believe he didn't have a...
Accumulated knowledge for 3! 2 mana, draw 3, instant speed.
I can't believe he didn't have a counter to protect that Stasis.
That's just 1 more mana than Ancestral Recall.
Yeah. If he just would have discarded 1 card during his upkeep, he could have paid for that.
Yep.
Finally.
Just remove 1 card from hand, play around the... Yeah, that's actually a good line, playing around that mana leak there. In fact, you could have discarded multiple if he needed extra mana. It's not nothing.
Is there an echo in here? Oh, that is, believe it or not, Haunting Echoes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Power Premodern, the amazing Psychatog deck with its Haunting Echoes.
Will just...
An Odyssey staple. Does this resolve?
I would have chewed right through my knuckle there.
Oh man, this is magic exactly as Richard Garfield intended it. That's pretty bang bang.
Whoa.
Well, all right. Ricky knows he cannot win over this.
Yes,
this is game.
Absolutely has to stop.
There is
because how do you win with Stasis when you ain't got no Stasis?
Yeah. It's literally ripping the soul out of the deck. This is unbeatable.
The Powder Keg went back to Will's hand because Ricky Chain of Vapor to Stasis and then copied it to bounce the Powder Keg as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Gush, we're still potentially live.
Hey, he's digging.
What we got here? Bada bottings?
Here is a foil.
There's the foil, discarding the appropriate amount of cards. But is there an answer? Is there an answer? We got to imagine Will's draw... Wait, what? Is that Snuff Out in his hand? Is that a Snuff Out?
No.
It can't be Snuff Out. What's that black card?
I don't know.
Yep.
That's... That's gonna be it. Will Hirst takes it. The champion, Will Hirst.
Classic
Misty
Haunting
Mountain
Echoes.
champion.
Yep. Parallax Tide for the win. Haunting Echoes for the tide. Or Haunting Echoes for the win. Wow.
Will tells him this clinic is over.
Well, and the range again, going from mono red burn to this beautiful Psychatog deck.
Any questions?
He didn't even resolve Upheaval. This is a clinic.
He never attacked with a Psychatog.
Well, and the Haunting Echoes are the different art. One's what's that, M10 or whatever,
Yes.
and then one's the Odyssey. Oh man, 2 Haunting Echoes. That's all you need. Oh my. Oh my. This is magic. This is why this is the best constructed format of all time.
That was good, and this is like. This you have to be thinking is Ricky like wow, I'm playing against a control deck. I'm playing Stasis.
Right. Pretty good. Yeah, we're not
it's
bad
kind of
shape.
where I want to be.
Yeah, we saw. Oh, hey, hello everyone. We're live.
How's it going? You finally get to see us.
So, a couple other things we should talk about. Got CubeCon coming up, which we will also be
CubeCon?
doing.
Yep. Yes.
What's that?
What is
Well,
CubeCon?
we're all involved with CubeCon actually.
Yes.
And actually, Michael's gonna be running the show for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be behind the scenes and kind of putting on a show like we did for this. So
For the coverage.
yes, coverage for the CubeCon. So
Yeah.
well, why don't you talk about what CubeCon is if someone's not familiar?
Well,
with
CubeCon is the best 4 days in cubing, and Cube is the best limited format of all time for Magic the Gathering.
Kind
Basically,
of like a limited Premodern.
it is the limited version of Premodern, and conversely, Premodern is the constructed version of Cube. We will be having Cube players from literally around the world coming together in Madison, Wisconsin, October 20th through the 23rd for an amazing 4 days of cubing. We will have prizes, we'll have tournaments, and best of all, we'll have cubing. BK is one of the OGs supporters of it, as am I and Michael and some others. Shout out to everyone, to Zach and Kayla and Gwen and John and everyone else. It's going to be awesome.
Shoot, did we miss somebody? Royce.
We're in Royce and
Royce, our CubeCon representative.
Yeah.
Our GameOCon representative.
we've had a lot of people
Yeah,
helping out over
it
the
takes
years.
place at a great convention, gaming convention in Madison that's been going on for the last 5-6 years and keeps growing because they do such a great job running it, and we're like really excited to work with them.
Yeah, we're partnering with...
That's GameOCon.
Yeah, shout out to GameHoleCon. We're partnering with them, and there's going to be a lot of cross-pollination, so if you want to be doing some True Dungeon over the weekend, you want to do some other stuff, there's the opportunity for that unity, but we're going to have a blast. I love cubing. I love Premodern. I will probably be doing a lot of commentary for that as well, just because of my love for it, but I'll also probably be cubing a lot, but it's going to be amazing. So I believe it's the Twitter handle is MTGCubeCon, and I think the website is mtgcubecon.com. So check it out.
Come
Have
on
no
out.
doubt.
Kick
It's
it
gonna
with
be a
us.
blast.
We'll-
Tickets go live July 16th. So coming up in less than a month now. So they're still discussing. If you're Ricky, what are you thinking at this point? What's your takeaway from that 2-0 debacle?
Some months ago with Rock.
Well, it says, hey, all of you good people in the booth, and BK, the bastard who dropped my cool GAT42.
Roatog
Grotog, yeah.
to 4-2, and in my top 16 aspirations some months
Dream
ago.
Crushings?
Oh yeah. I think that was
Oh,
in
my.
a monthly.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't sound like you are forgetting, but he certainly is not there, certainly not forgiving.
That's Auntie, right? I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
Check the phone. There's a message. It's not super sensitive.
Okay, well, yeah, that was a matchup. That could have been a match we saw in the top 8. That was fantastic to see first round. What a match. Go ahead, Will, do your thing. Haunting Echoes. My.
All right, round 1 of the books.
That was a great round.
Yeah,
I assume the round's got to be almost over because
Yeah,
that one went a little long.
Yeah, we might not be able to... Oh, wow, look at this sideboard. What is happening?
Oh, he's got Oath for Neshoba in the board. That's cool.
Is that the...
Yeah, he
I guess I
has an
haven't-
Oath board.
I guess, because, yeah, the Elvish
That's
Spirit Guide
cool.
makes me think of Root Maze, but
Which
I don't
does
know.
produce green.
I would have put a Vigilance creature in my board.
Sarah Angel?
If I was Oathing. Yeah. Here comes Archangel.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the Elvish Spear Guide comes out when the Oath of Druids comes in.
Probably not great for druids. Yeah.
Which is it's weird because it will help you cast it.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you just wait till you get it. You know.
Yeah, I'm not
So you
seeing
put the combo together.
Ridley's in the list, so I guess it's just the
No.
extra mana out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of awesome commentary and you're not able to make the CubeCon, we are also going to be streaming it live, so you can check it out. But
we're gonna have a lot of content all 4 days.
we'll have a ton of content. We'll also be putting on YouTube later, so fear not. We're gonna have some great. We're gonna have Caleb Gannon, Caleb Durwords. We're gonna have Caleb squared, not cubed. We need a third Caleb. Any Calebs out there? Cast Oath off of Forsaken City. There you go.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
Natural.
He's running.
pictures.
Yep.
You might play Undiscovered Paradise too. Sometimes I play that.
Undiscovered Paradise. Hidden gem for Stasis decks from back in the day. We got some great players here today. We've got Sam Black. Hopefully, we'll see him on camera. I didn't see what it was beforehand, but I know he's got a spicy brew. We're not gonna. We're gonna.
Okay,
I want to keep it. No spoilers. I want to
Yeah.
be surprised. He just told me it was a spicy brew. No spoilers. Want to see what it is. We've got Caleb Durward with a pretty dope deck. We've
Greatest
got
streamer ever.
Greatest streamer
Caleb
ever.
Durward, the
100%.
king of streaming.
The king of streaming, and a CubeCon champion to be, I presume. We will see, but he's gonna put his hat in the ring. What else do we got? We got Ben Rasmussen
Yep.
up
Ben's
here. We got Big Papa Bear, Lewis Kaplan.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm.
We have Aaron Dix, the Sly
Yeah, he came
Bobble
out from
Sly
Minnesota.
master of
Yep.
Minnesota.
Yep.
If you play Sly and Premodern, it's a good chance you at least considered his build to play.
I see Jesse Laidlaw. That's a name that I've known from the Premodern online community. He came from Minnesota today. So
Minnesota represent.
So
Let's go. And we've also got shout out to Dave Schreiner and Josh Plem, some Milwaukee players from my youth, from our youth back
People
in
we
the day.
played with back in the 90s,
Way
coming
back in the day.
into putting their wizard caps back on and coming do some dueling.
That's right. And again, that's part of the strength of this format. There's so much great memories and feelings, and there's no planeswalkers. So there's that.
And what other format could, like, somebody who hasn't played in 15 years
Right.
just build a deck?
Right. Right.
Like, Dave built his own deck for this. That's, like, so
Yeah.
exciting.
100%. And you can also explore, like, Will's deck is not, like, you just get to explore so many facets, and he won with
Yeah.
it. Like,
Will's
there's
been
so-
brewing this for, like, the last 3 weeks, so
Oh, really?
it's pretty great seeing it successful there.
Yeah, this format, I think that's another great strength of Premodern. It's so unexplored. There's so much territory left to conquer in it that you can really just put, and
He wanted to play elves, but I didn't let him. And he just wanted to smash Stasis as soon as he did elves.
but that would not have been nearly as satisfying as this, right?
Right, yeah.
Not even close. Plus, we've got to see, like, we're going to get to see a lot of really cool matches. Chad, let me ask you this. What is your favorite Premodern deck or card that you don't get to see played a lot in other formats? I'm going to say Haunting Echoes that's a sleeper. That is bang, bang, bang.
BK was
against
talking about it
Stasis.
more. I was kind of poo-pooing it, and then
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, you were like, "What? Haunting Echoes? Why would anybody play that?" And now you know.
It is a one-hit kill. It is a one card kill combo.
Just that's a text box. Game over.
Yep. It's got a lot of words to say game over.
Target opponent loses.
Oath of Druids, since it's banned legacy. Yeah, Oath of Druids is a fun one. Plus, not only is Oath of Druids awesome in this, but the creature selection you get, Spirit of Night,
Yeah. The fun part about Oath of Druids is it doesn't just win the game. in
right,
this format.
exactly. And you will almost not, it's very possible you'll never know what you're getting with it.
Yeah, it could. You could have a Cognivore, but
Yeah, Oath of Druids is great. You've got so many interesting, places to explore again in this format.
oh yeah, Pernicious Deed.
Oh, Pernicious Deed's great.
Yeah, I think Pernicious Deed is like potentially the best card in the format.
I agree.
But it slots into
Quietly.
so you really got to work to slot into your deck, and the mana is so bad
Right.
that you have to like take that on the chin too.
Hey, Turbo Grow Up, thanks for the sub. Appreciate you. Bless up, homie. Bless up, homie. Plague Spitter. Okay. Plague Spitter, pretty good against the elves.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
Plague
good against
Spitter
the
is a
elves and
favorite
the
of mine.
goblins. Yep.
Well, the thing about the elves is a lot of times like they're prepared for engineered plague. They have like naturalizes, or they can get into
Yeah.
vigilante, and they don't really have a good answer to plague spitter.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Elvish Champion is probably their best answer, but it's a lot
Yeah.
more difficult than.
And you can kill your Plague Spitter in a pinch and
Yep.
you know, take everything out.
Oh, we have a disagreement. Nostalgia format is, in my opinion, a flawed argument. However, from a gameplay perspective, it is most interactive. Unlike other formats, due to fire philosophy, you don't want to immediately get wrecked. There's great gameplay and counterplay. Well, I'm more of a water-air tribe, but I hear what you're saying. Although I think that those two aren't mutually exclusive. The nostalgia factor for OGs like me is awesome, and I get a lot of pleasure out of it. It's part of why I'm actually commentating today as opposed to playing, is it's just so fun to see so many different things from this perspective and talk about it. Obliterate, that's a good one. As for the cards I love that Oath doesn't have insane creatures like does Vintage Agreed, or Cube. I love fair grinding magic. My favorite card has to be Island. Well, that's not... We got to go a step further, I'm sorry. What island? Now, obviously, we saw 4th edition
Yeah,
prominently displayed.
What's your island?
I'm a Mirage man myself, I have to say. Mirage 2, or B, or whatever it is.
Can we talk about Obliterate instead?
Please.
I love that card.
Go ahead.
And I have not seen it really played much in this format.
Now, tell us what
But-
you love about Obliterate.
I love that it can't be countered. For
It's-
one.
Okay.
What kind of shells are you putting it in? Are you brewing with this card, or you just
And
like,
you-
I
yeah,
haven't brewed with it yet.
And can you run a deck with 4 Obliterates, 4 Jacocalops? Can you rock your Jacocalops? Can you rock them both?
Not if
What
you
deck
wanna-
would that be?
Not if you want to win.
Good.
I mean, I guess maybe you're playing like balancing things, but just like no. I guess you burn. I don't know. I was like, what, like a mono red balancing things thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you just Turbo Obliterate. Turbo Obliterate. You can play that Phoenix or
Yep.
that
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
Gargoyle, Ivory Gargoyle.
Yep. You remove
That,
from
the classic Ivory Gargoyle plus Obliterate.
What about the 2 mana, the 4 mana 2/2 that blinks? For 0
Blinking
mana.
Spirit?
Yeah.
That's not as good with Obliterate because it goes back to your hand.
No,
But
it
you
just
could-
blinks. Doesn't it just blink?
You can
out?
play Rainbow
No,
Freed.
maybe the new version. Maybe the Time Spiral one does. but
Rainbow Freed, you pay 2 blue.
I think the Time Spiral one might, but the original one goes back to your hand.
What about the 2/1 flyer for 1 blue red?
Frenetic Freed.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Sometimes it's
you keep
great with
it,
the
sometimes
Obliterate.
you don't. There's a combo deck with that in Premodern. You can
just
play
flip a million coins?
Chance Encounter, which is like if you flip 5 coins, you win the game.
And you can just flip a million.
and
off
then you
of it.
just like in
It's
response to the Chance Encounter, you just like flip a ton of times with your Frenetic Freed, and then you can just play that in a shell. With the rest of it is just red blue, good stuff.
You love to see it.
So if this happened in like a real tournament, do you think you could like request that your opponent actually flip the coins until they at least get 20?
You have to flip 20 times.
Well, no, because you need
10 or more counters.
10. Well, on average it would be 20,
Yeah.
but
I think so, yeah.
I mean it'd be
Because it
interesting.
doesn't because it's possible.
I mean, you had to pick a number and do it.
What if you flip the coin 10 times and still kept your
Right.
Frenetic Freed absolutely does not worth Chocolops, I'll have you know. Because if you lose the flip, it dies. If you win the... Oh, yeah, you win the flip, it faces out. Never mind.
Yeah,
it does. I
it
don't
works
know what
half
I'm
the
talking
time.
about. Yeah.
It's sometimes
Half the time it works every time.
Yeah. 50% of the time works every time. Yes, Mirage. I'm surprised not to see more Hermit Druids in such a... Well, stick around. You might just see more Hermit Druids in such a goes,
Yeah,
actually.
I gotta assume there's a Hermit
Stick
Druid in the room.
You know there is. Oh, wait. Oh, just kidding. Nope.
I
Never
don't.
mind.
I don't
Nothing.
know that.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Never mind. Yes, Hermit Druid, I think, is my favorite card of the format. Not necessarily... Maybe one of the most powerful, but probably my favorite
Are you
card.
thinking about Deranged Hermit or Hermit Druid?
Oh, Deranged Hermit. You got Deranged Hermit, too, because of our friend's deck.
That's one of my favorites.
I love Hermit Druid. Although,
I love Hermit Druid too.
it takes me back to the 5-color.
I played
5
that
color
in
250 days.
I played that in Cube on Wednesday when I did the 2 casts. I played the I was playing
Oh, the
the 2
2CMC
CMC Cube.
Yep, which will be featured at CubeCon, I believe, right?
It will be.
Should we transition?
Sure. Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick break. I mean, it won't be very long. We're just getting the round finished.
Yeah.
And paired.
Mike's got some great informative slides where you can see a few of the core decks of the format. So like read up and get associated with Premodern if
Yeah,
you're
so stick
you are.
around. We'll be right back.